India is one of the countries where missionaries played a crucial role for its development. They may be accused saying that the missionaries lured the people into conversion, but the fact that they were the important people who were crucial in contributing for the development of the society cannot be neglected. One such city which was delivered from evil practices and a great reformation came was the city of Serampore. In today's episode, we are going to see how the Serampore missionaries were crucial in bringing a social reformation in this city and what are the great activities and developments they brought to that city, and it also had a great impact throughout the nation. Hello everyone, this is Michelle, and today's episode we are going to see some interesting things which the missionaries did in the country of India. Let's take a look. William Carey, known as the father of modern missions, was a founder of the Serampore mission in the year 1799. Before he started the Serampore mission, he worked at Bengal for almost 6 years so that he can learn the language, which was the language of Bengali, and become a master of it. What he believed that the gospel had to be taken to the people in their own language. So he ensured that he became a master of the language, and he was called the father of Bengali prose. This was because he compiled Bengali dictionaries, and also in the year 1801 he published a grammar of the Bengali language. When he started the Serampore mission, the British Missionary Society sent two other missionaries to support him, namely Joshua Marshman and William Watt. These three were called the Serampore trio. There is a common assumption always that as the British were in rule back then, it was easy for the British missionaries to do their services in India, but actually that was not the case. The East India Company did not permit the missionaries to serve because they believed that if the missionaries teach the scriptures, then the people might question the authority, saying that what they are doing is against the truth. So, fearing that, they did not permit the missionaries to freely operate until the year 1813. In 1813, the Charter Act of 1813 permitted the missionaries to do their services in India. So until then, it was very difficult for the missionaries. So this was during the year 1813, but even before this, William Carey had already started his Serampore mission. So since he faced a lot of challenges from the East India Company, he had to move to a nearby city, the city of Serampore, which actually came under the Danish legislation. So he was able to freely work there without any restrictions. And that is where he started the Serampore mission. The condition of the people of Bengal was pitiable in the 18th and 19th century, which had so many evil practices like sati, child marriage, infanticide, caste system, untouchability, and low status of women. Carey was burdened by seeing these issues. Apart from preaching the gospel, he also wanted to bring a social reformation so that people can live a better life. In this program, do check out the episode The Impact of Indian Missionaries, Part 4, where we had detailedly explained how William Carey brought a social reformation in the evil practice of sati. Now, we will look at the other social issues which were addressed. The first issue we are going to see is the problem of infanticide. People had a superstitious belief that if they made child sacrifices at the Hooghly River, which was a distributary of the Ganges River in Bengal, they believed that this child sacrifice would bring them prosperity and it would put an end to their sufferings. This was the first belief, because in case if they were suffering from any problem like a disease or some opposition from the society or some caste issues or any kind of issue, they saw a solution of offering their children at the Hooghly River as a child sacrifice. That's how evil it was. They also believed that if a child suffered to the death, then a prosperity would come to their family, and also the child also was promised a better life in their rebirth. That was what they believed. So in the year 1802, after so many protests from William Carey and other missionaries, an act was passed by the then Governor General of India, Lord Wellesley. He passed a regulation prohibiting the practice of sacrificing children into the sea or river. Another issue which the people faced was the problem of leprosy. Back then, there was no cure for leprosy, so people did not see it as a disease, and rather they saw it as a curse. So, in case if they saw someone affected with leprosy, they would just abandon them. I would just leave them by the riversides, or they would then burn them alive, or even bury them alive. What they believed that this curse will be gone, or they will be delivered from the curse if they were suffered to their death, and in their rebirth they might have a prosperous and a peaceful life. That was the superstitious belief they had, and that was the reason why they believed all these killings and all these evils were justifiable. And it was William Carey who was the first person to acknowledge and to receive the people affected with leprosy and to build a separate asylum for them, giving them a real life. And William Carey saw one thing very clearly, that no matter how many acts or prohibitions come to stop all these evil practices, he believed unless the people's heart change, these evil practices are not gonna change. So the only tool which he saw was through education. Back then, the people of upper caste and only men were permitted to get a formal education, and no one else were permitted to education. Education was literally banned for women. It was prohibition for a woman to get educated. So William Carey decided to give free education to all, irrespective of caste. The caste system was very rigid, that no one was able to do anything freely. Only the upper caste men had all the privileges. And Carey believed that this issue can also be addressed in case if he is able to provide education to all, because once the people get educated, they would know what is right and what is wrong by themselves. So what Carey did was, in the year 1800, he started to provide free education to everyone. This was a great success to an extent that within 18 years 126 schools were opened, providing education for more than 10,000 people. That's how it was a great success. And then in the year 2022, the first school for women was opened. And later on, seeing the success of this, Carey started the Serampur College, which is there till now, and which is the fourth oldest college in India, which is almost 200 years old. While providing education, Carey also ensured that he was teaching the people the truth. So, when the people who got educated also were exposed to the truth, exposed to the scriptures, they were enlightened that the caste system was so evil and it did not promote fraternity and equality. It was made very clear that Christianity is clearly promoting fraternity, and there was no caste system and everyone are equal in Christianity. So this started to bring a social reformation, and people started to question every superstitious practice which was being followed. And that's how social reformation started to spread out from Serampur throughout India. In those days, a big event took place. What happened was, a men who belonged to the upper caste and a women who belonged to the lower caste was converted. They got saved, they came into Christ, and they got married. And it was a public display showing everyone that there was no caste or discrimination in Christianity. A note says that this was the first kind of such a great event that had taken place in the entire history of India. That's how they proved how beautiful and how or what the Bible truly teaches. In 1834, when William Carey passed away, many non believer people came to pay respect to William Carey because they knew what he truly had did. Though some school books or certain historically the people might say that they adopted various methods to push or force the people into conversion, in history it says that people loved Carey because they truly saw how much he loved the people and how many good things the Serampur missionaries had did to them. That's what the Serampur missionaries did, and that's how much the contribution and that's how much they had contributed for the development of the country of India. History books may say, or the education in our school might say that it was the other people and the missionaries were morely focused on conversion, but we cannot deny that the missionaries were the key role in bringing a social reformation, and they were the cause for bringing India to a developed country. The Indian history books may reject the marvelous works of missionaries, but In reality, the truth cannot be forgotten. If it's God's will, we'll see you next week. God bless you.